In today's video, we're gonna find out which self-emptying robot vacuum is better, the latest one from Yeedi or the highly popular iRobot i3+. And I'm gonna have to put this down because they're way too heavy. Alright, so both vacuums have self-emptying stations. The stations do look somewhat similar. The one from the iRobot is a bit taller, and of course that one is black so it can match the color of the vacuum, where the one from the Yeedi vacuum is white, so once again can match the color of the vacuum. So whenever the vacuums get full, they will go back to their base and empty themselves. Inside the self-emptying stations, of course, there are paper bags that will collect all the dirt from the vacuum, and you can go for about 30 to 40 days without actually having to clean those. It may be longer depending how clean your house is, but for most households it's probably gonna be around a month. Now, when the vacuums go back to their stations to empty themselves, they do get quite loud, but the iRobot is much louder than the Yeedi vacuum. And next I want to show you a quick example so you can hear how loud they actually get when they empty themselves. Looking at the vacuums themselves, well, they do look like most robotic vacuums out there, so the same round shape, so they do look very similar in between each other. Of course, the white one may match some houses better than the black one, where the black one may match some houses better than the white one. Of course, it depends on your preference as well. Now, looking at the front of them, they both have a bumper on the front and of course some sensors, but I've noticed that the bumper on the Yeedi vacuum also has some rubber strips at the top and at the bottom, and that will help protect the vacuum itself so the vacuum doesn't get scratched, and also the furniture. The iRobot has just plastic on the front, so after using this for about 2 weeks, the iRobot has way more scratches than the Yeedi one on the front there. Underneath, they both have side brushes. That side brush will basically push the dirt towards the suction hole in the center of the vacuum. There we also have sensors so the vacuums don't fall down the stairs, and I haven't had any incidents over the past 2 weeks that I've been using both vacuums. And with the Yeedi we get one brush. This is what we usually see with a lot of vacuums on the market, where with the iRobot in the center there we have 2 rubber brushes. However, I haven't really noticed a difference when they clean, so they do clean quite similar. Now, with the Yeedi vacuum, I've noticed that you can change the suction power from the app, where with the iRobot you don't have access to changing the suction power, so it's the same suction power at all times. So that could come in handy mostly if you're working from home and you want to lower the suction power from this one, because this way the vacuum is not as loud. The Yeedi vacuum also gets a mopping module, so on the back there we have a little water tank, and underneath that water tank you would attach the mopping pad, and then the vacuum can go around and mop and vacuum, or it can just mop. It depends on your preference. You can turn that on or off from the settings. The vacuum will not go over carpets if it's mopping. This is a good feature because I've had other vacuums in the past that would actually mop carpets. Well, this one will figure out that it's going over carpets, and it will stop there and it will avoid the carpets whenever it's mopping. Now, this is a feature that's not available for the iRobot. So the iRobot can only vacuum, it doesn't have a mopping module. As for suction power, well, based on the manufacturer specification, the Yeedi vacuum is also more powerful than the iRobot. So technically, if the Yeedi vacuum would go over something heavier on the floor, would be able to pick it up better. Now, at my house where the vacuums have been vacuuming, I haven't really noticed that big of a difference. But technically, yes, the Yeedi vacuum is the more powerful one out of the two. And we are moving on to app control. So both vacuums can be controlled from your smartphone from an app. Of course, for the iRobot, you need the iRobot app, or for the Yeedi vacuum, of course, you need the Yeedi app. The apps are available for both iOS and Android, so you can use them on any device. So here the Yeedi app is much better. First of all, it shows a map, so you can always see where the vacuum is. You can always see where the vacuum has vacuumed already and where it hasn't, so you kind of know where it's gonna go. Where with the iRobot, you never know where the vacuum is gonna go. You never know what area it cleaned and so on. So for that, the Yeedi app is much better. Now, neither device has a laser mapping system like other more expensive robotic vacuums. However, the Yeedi Vac does have a camera at the top, so I'm assuming that it's using that camera and some sensors to map your house better. The iRobot does have a map, but it only shows you the map at the end when it's done cleaning. So you can't exactly see where the vacuum is at all times, you can't see where it's cleaned and so on. So for the app, the Yeedi vacuum is much better. The Yeedi app also allows you to select an area on the map and the vacuum will go and vacuum that particular area. So let's say that you spilled something on the floor, you can just select a little area on the map, the vacuum will go there and vacuum. With the iRobot, you're actually gonna have to start a cleaning cycle and then you're gonna have to wait till the vacuum goes around. And talking about waiting, so with the Yeedi vacuum, it usually does the top floor of my house in about an hour and 5 minutes or something like that, where the iRobot takes about an hour and 45 minutes, so much longer for the iRobot to clean the area. I'm assuming that has to do with the fact that the iRobot doesn't exactly know where it's been, so sometimes it goes over the same area 2 or 3 times. So that probably has a lot to do with it. So the mapping system, the way the Yeedi vacuum does it, seems to be better than the mapping system that the iRobot has. And of course, if you use the Google Assistant or Amazon's Alexa, you can control both vacuums with your voice technically. Of course, you're gonna have to set them up to your account. Personally, I haven't done that. I find it's much easier to use them from the app, but you do have that option for both devices. So overall, looking at the features that they both offer, and of course the price, because the price is also important, and taking in consideration that the Yeedi vacuum is a bit cheaper than the iRobot, I feel that the Yeedi vacuum is the better vacuum out of the two because it does offer more for your money. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.